Why did games feel so magical when we were kids and so different when we grew older? That is a question that I've been asking myself a lot lately. When I was younger, gaming wasn't just a hobby to me, it was my whole world. I couldn't wait to come home from school and lose myself in a new game for hours and hours on end. But as I got older, my relationship with gaming started to change. It became more complicated. At one point, I even stopped playing completely for a while. When I think about my childhood, there's one memory that perfectly captures that magical feeling games used to have. I distinctly remember getting Pokémon Alpha Sapphire from my Nintendo 3DS and playing through the entire game in a single weekend. I was completely obsessed, and I could barely put the game down. Even while I slept, I continued to dream about the game. Of course, spending an entire weekend only playing games isn't exactly the healthiest thing to do, but that moment stuck with me because I didn't experience that same kind of excitement again for a very long time. So you might be wondering, what changed? The obvious answer might be that games have changed over time. And yes, as I've already discussed in previous videos, that's part of the reason. However, I don't think that that's the whole story. Another main reason why I think games feel so different as an adult is something we rarely think about: the feeling of discovery. When I was a kid, everything in a game felt new. As the pool of games I had played was still small, there was still a lot of room for surprises. Discovering new mechanics felt exciting. Exploring different worlds and getting lost in them was magical. But by growing older and playing more and more games, that sense of discovery really started to wear off. That's why in my late teenage years I started to feel a growing disconnect to gaming. I felt like there was nothing I could still gain from it. So, for about 2 years, I just stopped playing completely. I would still watch Let's Plays and keep up with the latest releases, but the passion I once had really started to fade into the background. However, everything changed in March of 2020, when the pandemic was at its peak. I heard about Animal Crossing New Horizons coming out on the Nintendo Switch. I felt an immediate rush of excitement in my body. The thought of playing one of my favorite childhood games again really hooked me, even enough to finally buy a Switch and get lost on my own island. The game really brought back this long-lost feeling of discovery and excitement that I last felt many years ago playing Pokémon Alpha Sapphire. This whole experience really reopened the gate into gaming for me. However, instead of having fun, I continued to chase that rush of excitement again and again. My gaming habits started to get toxic. My mind was filled with thoughts about finishing as many games as possible, always in pursuit of the former mentioned spark. Only recently, I was able to reflect on that mindset and rethink what gaming really means to me as an adult. I accepted that not every game I play will spark that feeling of discovery and excitement every time. And that's completely fine. I intentionally started to play less and only games that truly interest me. I started to try more experimental games that challenge me, make me reflect, as well as reshape my expectation of what gaming can be. Fun is still important, but as I grow older, I like to play games that really stick with me and have some deeper meaning. If you know any games that go into that direction, I would love to hear about them. And I'm really curious, what is your relationship with gaming now? Did it change over time? Or did it just stay the same? Let me know in the comments down below. And thanks so much for listening. If you enjoy these kinds of gaming reflections, you can always subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.